Good evening everyone, good evening, welcome back to the channel. So, let's address the baby elephant in the room. Yes, I'm on Zwift after losing my shit last night with Zwift kind of letting me down at the start of the race. In fact, I'll do a little recap. So, for those of you that did watch yesterday's stream, what happened was I was applauding myself, patting myself on the back because I was in the start pen 10 minutes early. The cameras, the mic, the lights, everything, all the electronics was good to go. Were good to go 10 minutes before the start. I felt good. I'd hydrated. I'd left work dead on time. I'd eaten at the right time. I was feeling electric. And about a minute and a half to go, I was saying, this is going so well. It's perfect conditions tonight. And then 3 seconds, 2 seconds, a second to go. I was in the start pen. This is the race begins. Off everybody goes. The usual hectic, frenetic, crazy sprint start that takes place with every Zwift race. And my little guy on screen, my avatar, just stays right there, goes nowhere, despite the fact I'm pedaling as frenetically and as crazily as everybody. So that's strange. Look around, all the lights are on, everything's good. Connection error pops up on the screen. So yeah, didn't go well for me last night, unfortunately. But so I lost my mind. I lost my absolute shit a little bit. I lost my core, should we say, a little bit. I got very angry. There was a little bit of bad language on the stream as I was effing and jeffing. But I was so pumped and so ready for the race and so like fired up and ready to go that I think all the energy I had, all that readiness I had, basically just turned into pure anger and annoyance and frustration. And I took it out on Zwift wrongly. Let's be honest, it's hardware, it's software. These things aren't, perfect. It's very hard to make them perfect, but that's maybe the third, fourth time in the entire 5 years or so now I've been on Zwift now that I've had one of these technical issues. And of those other, let's just say half a dozen instances, most of the times it's ever happened has been because the Bluetooth drivers needed updating, or it's a hardware issue my end, basically, with my PC or my computer. Rarely is it really a Zwift issue. But through all the whining that I was doing yesterday, complaining about Zwift, I was so pumped and so angry, let's be honest, misplaced in terms of the direction I chose to vent that anger, that in my anger I went and downloaded my whoosh, whatever you want to call it, the sort of the free, well currently free, I guess you could call it an alternative to Zwift, but it's the one where the e-cycling world championships are going to be. It's the one that's splashed all over the UAE Team Emirates kit, etc. Massive investment going into it from the UAE, from the Middle Eastern region. So in my anger, I was thinking, oh, you know what? This is it. This is time. No more Zwift for me. This is my last Zwift race. I'm going over to my whoosh like the others. So I jumped on after the 4 gig download. Didn't take too long, but sizable enough, isn't it? Sort of set up my avatar and whatnot, pedalled away for 4.5k. In conclusion, and this isn't my opinion for perpetuity, it may well change, but my whoosh is trash. It's absolute trash. I get, it's a little bit more realistic, a tad more realistic than Zwift, bearing in mind it is a game, effectively, but the HUD, the display, the menu, the fact it took ages to download, the engine, if you like, is very clunky, really clunky. The movement on the guy wasn't fluid. The little sort of avatar on the screen wasn't fluid. The aero or just the dynamics. It just felt clunky and horrible. And granted, it might, one might argue it's maybe more realistic in terms of, the speed of the rider going up and down hills and the changes in speed and whatnot. But it feels horrible. And let's be honest, we all know this if we've ridden indoors, that riding indoors is an acquired taste for most. But if it feels horrible when riding indoors is in itself already a painful exercise, quite literally, it's I think more physically taxing than riding on the road. Why would you want the on-screen experience to be all kind of laggy and buggy and sluggish and I don't know. My instant reaction was, after thinking about it, is maximum hyper-realism what you want with a cycling game? I don't think so. I think actually what you probably want to focus on, and I think Zwift are doing it, is just the engaging elements. So, the responsiveness of your rider, the sort of custom jerseys that you can get for different clubs, the way that Zwift interlaces with the real world of cycling, so it's a bit like Blu-ray versus HD DVD or VHS versus Betamax. The two brands that fell away could argue that their technology was better, potentially, for whatever reason. But ultimately, one is better wrapped and better branded, and I think, my opinion, the metaphor I was trying to, the reason I was bringing up that metaphor is because there are lots of arguments, obviously, that Betamax was better and HD DVD was better than Blu-ray. But really and truthfully, the reasons that the VHS and the Blu-ray won out was because they were just better marketed, better packaged, better put together, they were smoother, they were slicker. People got it. Blu-ray sort of stood out versus HD DVD. I think Zwift is that. Zwift doesn't have to be this, like 4K perfect experience where you can see every single, stray leg hair that was felt or shaved on your rider's leg and the spinning of the spokes, and it doesn't have to be that. It just has to be a smooth and enjoyable experience, and the pack dynamics have to be good, and you have to feel that when you're putting down a bit of power, that your rider on screen kind of responds, and then when you ease up, he does the same, vice versa. Don't get me wrong, Zwift can do so much more. They can, introduce group sets, for goodness sake. So that when I'm riding around on one of my bikes, I can have Ultegra or Dura Ace or SRAM or Campion Yellow. I don't know why you want that, but they need to get more partners on board in terms of helmet brands like your casks, etc. Shoe brands like Northwaves and Q365s, that sort of thing, And I generally would like to see more partnerships with the real world brands, and I know they've done it with Ceramic Speed, and I know they do it with Canyon occasionally, and Alex Dowsett has his TT course, and obviously Ineos, or formerly Team Sky, was sort of big into Zwift at one point, but I just think Zwift is better. There could well be an element of it being, well, I'm just more familiar with Zwift and that's why I prefer it, but I don't think that's it. I think it's just that it is a better platform. Anyway, enough chatting. We're 6 minutes from the start. I don't want to be tinkering too much more right before the start line, so in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the pen nice and early, get my fans on nice and early, and just make sure that nothing changes in the 2 minutes before the race begins, so that I can give myself every chance of being there on time. And with regards to the little sort of outage I had yesterday, the little sort of technical issues before the race, kind of got me thinking that, this winter, when I'm entering the WTRL and another race series and doing proper race verification and taking it a whole lot more seriously than I am now, being more ready and more prepped and having experienced a few snags like I did last night will probably, potentially, maybe, put me in good stead to make sure that, should the worst happen in a race like that, that I could resolve it nice and quick and still, not miss out and take part in the race. So there we go. So I'm going to go back to the pause screen for a minute whilst I sort out my electronics, and I'll be right back with you. Bear with me. Okay, so what I've had to do is effectively bin the fan that I broke instead of eat, and instead move the fan off the floor and point it more at the chest. But instantly I'm feeling pretty good. So it could be better. We'll see. Right, time waits. We've got power. We've got 10 seconds. So here we go. Wish me luck. Four riders, not very many. It's going to be an attritional race. Come on, Howard. Oh, feather wouldn't go amiss. Howard said something about taking a turn, but oh, finally, here we go. At least I've got the green jersey. Oh. Oh, that was good fun. Yeah. Oh, so, interesting race. There were only 4 of us at the start, and then one drops fairly early on. Then myself, Howard and Grindrod continued on, with Howard seemingly really wanting to put in some efforts. So that he did. Stayed with him mostly. A cheeky so-and-so was saying about me taking a turn. I'm going to have to watch it back, but I'm pretty sure I did take some turns. And the turns that Howard were taking, I'm sure they were pretty soft. Like his power was dropping right off on his behind. So, I might be wrong. You might be watching this live and think, what are you talking about, Michael? That's not what went down at all, but it's the way it felt. That said, I'll admit I wasn't too conscious about me versus Howard as the race was taking shape. But fair play to him, he dropped the aero power up at the bottom of the climb and went full guns up the climb and then just maintained the gap. And then on the last lap slowly built. I didn't have what it takes in my heart or my legs to gain any ground back on him. So it became more about just making sure that gap didn't get ridiculously big. And so the grind rod didn't obviously catch up and overtake me as well. Yeah, top end power is definitely missing. I think what I probably need to do for the next few weeks is fewer races and more training sessions, more blocks, just to hold those higher power numbers. Because I'm getting to 300 for the first part of the races, 300 watts, and holding it for a while, and then the ceiling quickly comes down on me and I'm sort of stuck fluctuating between sort of 240 and 280 and then upwards a little bit and back down again, so I can't really hold the power that my FCP is claiming to be. So I've got to do a bit of work there. What I really need to do is get out on the road and do some longer rides to better condition myself, otherwise I'm going to become a 30-minute specialist and that's no good. Anyway, another one in the bank. Thanks for watching. Bit of admin before I go. As always, please do head over to Instagram, follow me at That Berkshire Cyclist. Likewise, if you're watching here on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Over in the far corner, bottom over there, it's Coalition. It's the team I race for. And usually, in most races, I'm wearing the Coalition kit, but of course, this being a Coalition event, it puts all in a generic jersey. So yeah, go and check out Coalition Racing. But if you really want to support me and do me a massive solid, jump on over to highjustride.com. Pick yourself up some merch. Got a lot going on in my life at the moment, but I'm hoping to find some time to hit release and make sure that all the new branding and the new logos and whatnot are all on the new merch this coming week, or this coming weekend. So, thanks for tuning in everyone. I will see you on the other side in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace. Good vibes.